Hello, hello, good people of the internets. Destroyer here, back with another replay of Battlefield 2. Today we'll be looking at a replay of a game I played but did not record. So let's see what we got here. We got one on Arnor. Arnor's an interesting game, or an interesting map. 2v2 on Arnor. I like Arnor, but nobody ever wants to play Arnor, unfortunately. It's not really a balanced map. For 2v2 it works though, because each side will have the mountainous, unbalanced part. So I guess it works. So yeah, this is a 4K no rules game. In 2v2, I am Goblins. In the bottom right, Destroyer, I am that guy. We have thelongcon, my partner there. As per usual, most of the time, he is my partner on 2v2s. He is Isengard in the bottom left. Top left, we have Zahia. I guess that's close enough. As Elves in the top left, and his slash her, probably him. They're always, there's no girls. If you're a girl and you're offended, I apologize. And we have SHIN in the top right. So, yeah. Opening with some farms here. And let's see what's next. Goblin Cave, for me, is the next thing. I'm pretty sure I buy a gore kill in this one as well. So I'm sure he's building. My partner, going for his Lurts. Lurts, as always, is a good choice for Isengard starting. Or any time, really. And he's also upgrading his siege works. Possibly going for ballistas. Or mines, even. Probably ballistas. As mines don't really work early game. I don't know. Rushing a mine might be an interesting game. I would be surprised to see LOTR try that, because he tries many crazy, kooky things. We have a Haldir coming out with some archers and some swordsmen here, from the Elves of the top left. So they will be heading straight down to LOTR's base, which could be a problem for LOTR, actually, as he doesn't have a whole lot ready for that. Yeah, I do have a gore kill. Fighting over the cave troll here. Looks like Mouth of Sauron from Mordor, as well as an Nazgul. Always good choices to buy both of those heroes. I usually don't get the Mouth of Sauron, personally, because I usually get a Mooma kill instead, because I'm crazy. But, I mean, a solid choice is Mouth of Sauron. You can't go wrong with that, really. Unless your opponent has a Mooma kill. In that case, maybe. So yeah, Haldir is pushing in pretty deep into the Isengard base. Oh, there's an Arwen here as well. That could be a problem. Ooh. Big hit on the archers there. Sudden ballista shot. That could be a problem for him, as ballistas are pretty good at taking out archers in general. But we do have the Mordor heroes charging in here as well, and Lurtz will be in a lot of trouble here. There's not enough Isengard troops. And all I have is a battalion of Goblin warriors, which is not going to be much help. So LOTR potentially could be in a lot of trouble here. I guess we'll see how this unfolds. Looks like Haldir is already level 4, getting his leadership, which his leadership is 50% damage. It's a good one to have for the Elves. I don't think the defense one really helps the Elves much. Maybe it does, I don't know. But increasing their damage when they already have a high damage output makes them quite effective at killing things, as you might imagine. Normally I don't like to buy Haldir, but if there is a reason to buy Haldir, it is for the leadership he provides. And I guess he's an okay hero. I mean, he does more damage than Arwen, I'm pretty sure. I say that, but I'm not actually sure about that. Maybe she does. But Arwen does get that heal eventually, which is nice. And as well as Flood, which is amazing. And it looks like I'm sending some troops in to help my partner here. My gore kill is level 3, so he does have his mount. And I do have some Goblin warriors to supplement him as well. Not quite enough to take out this, I don't think. So I won't want to engage there, I'm pretty sure. But I think together, me and my partner should be able to hold him off a bit. And Mouth of Sauron here, retreating home to his fortress. Or somewhere. We've got Corsairs and a leveled up Tavern going for Forge Blades immediately. A pretty default, normal, good strat. Pretty solid strat for Mordor. Going for Forge Blades with their Corsairs very early. And you can also equip them on their Easterlings when you get them, because you'll undoubtedly need some pikemen at some point, as most teams will. Because if you don't build pikemen, you will usually pay for it in some way or another. Through cavalry like this. I do have spider riders. So those will be quite effective as there are no pikemen here. There are some elven pikemen here. But if I'm careful, I shouldn't have to worry about that. Well, so much for that, huh? There was no carefulness in that. And flood going down already. Killing most of my army here. And a lot of Isengards as well. Mainly my Goblin Warriors, though. As these guys kind of live through that. Flood is a good power, but it's not a good power. It takes a long time to recharge. But it doesn't actually kill tough troops like this, or dwarves, or something, you know. Like Guardians. That it's just not enough damage. But against Goblin Warriors or Orc Warriors, it's pretty good. For killing off mass amounts of units. It's also good for knocking them down. As it will just throw everyone around. And that is usually generally a good thing, allowing you to kill them while they're down. So that is still a good thing to have. Looks like Mordor is harassing the back farms. I did hear Arwen die. Looks like Haldir will follow very shortly. Yep. So both of those heroes are dead now. To the horde of goblins here. Once goblins get going, they're pretty hard to stop, I gotta say. Goblins are probably the strongest team, if used correctly, in my opinion. As their spam potential and their units are just generally strong. It's pretty effective. I'd say the second most powerful team is probably Mordor. Maybe even the first. It really just depends on who plays them. If you have a really good player with someone, they can beat anyone really who's a good player with someone else. If they know what they're doing. Although sometimes it can be tough. Especially when like you have a Aragorn using Slayer on your fortress or something. Aragorn using Slayer, that'd be amazing. Gimli using Slayer on your fortress, Aragorn using Blade Master on your fortress, what I meant. Those are two things that are very hard to stop. Since you have a lot of stuff to stop them. And I am being harassed here by some Corsairs from SHIN. He is taking out a fair amount of things here. Trolls are a good counter to Corsairs though. Especially if I give him a tree to put in his hand. The old club is quite effective for bashing them around. Yeah, throw down the totem to a little bonus. Actually gives 50% armor bonus to nearby allies. Is that what his thing does? I don't know if that stacks with his leadership. I don't think so. But maybe. Who knows? Probably not. That would be overpowered. You just throw it on the totem and you get 75% bonus armor. That'd be kind of insane. I'd assume it just takes the top one, which would be this. Because this is 50% and his leadership is 25. I've never been too sure how leadership works. It's probably different in certain patches. Not too sure. Let's see. Isengard is moving out his base to help me push on the elves here. Mordor is moving in to help his partner now. My Gorkill will want to get out of here. Do these guys have Morgul Blade yet? Or him? Ooh, Nazgul getting caught. That's unfortunate, as he will be quickly piked to death. Send my Gorkill in there to try and get some experience on him. Off of him. And I do grab a level there. I'm now level 5. I'm one step closer to getting Poison Stinger, which would be quite effective. Over the right side of the map. Looks like I did push out a little bit, but I retreated back, as I probably don't have enough troops. I'm simultaneously like sending guys left and trying to keep him from going into my base. And that is easily done using waypoints. So if you set one barracks over here, say, and one barracks up here, and you can have troops going both ways without having to micromanage them as much. You'll still want to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but you'll still be heading in the right direction, which is handy. And you can also always hold shift and then right click, and that'll set the waypoint for all of your structures to go to one area or another, which is also a handy trick to know. And it looks like we're actually making good progress here. Actually, we'll kill Haldir. Ooh. Good pickup there. He will have to rebuy his hero once again, unfortunately for him. And a Cripple Strike going down on the mouth of Sauron so we can escape. Looks like I'm going greedy, trying to destroy this Malorn tree. I probably should have ran. I wonder if I lose my Gorkill for that. I did get the Poison Stinger, but I'm not too sure I'm going to get out of here alive. And I also am pushing forward up here. Want to make sure I'm watching the action on all sides. Did I actually get away? No, I didn't get away. That's what I get for being greedy. That last tree got him the level, but it also got him killed, so... Was it worth it? Probably not. But I did it anyway. We do have a level 5 cave troll here with a stick. As you see, it's doing massive work, killing pikemen and corsairs alike. Cave trolls are probably the biggest asset to the goblins, I feel. Especially for sieging. But, like, if you give it a stick, it basically becomes an attack troll of sorts. Which is always a good unit. Even against pikemen, it's still pretty effective, because they don't have to, like, get super close in to hit. They can hit from a slight distance with a tree, as a tree is not, like, 1 inch wide. Or long, I should say, not wide. Well, it's not 1 inch wide either. So I'm technically not wrong. Little Mordor army pushing into the Isengard base. I'm sure Isengard could deal with that. That's not a whole lot. Just 2 battalions. We do have a group of elves here. Grouping for something. Not sure what. Does he have Silverthorns or anything yet? Oh. He does have a forge, and he does have Silverthorn arrows purchased. He doesn't have it equipped yet, though. So possibly he'll want to do that sooner rather than later. Unfortunately for him, though, Spider Rider's making short work of these, especially with the cave bats above, making the each run through just basically kill every one of them, and that is a huge loss for the elves there. Pikemen coming in way too late to save these 3 battalions of Lordian archers, and that is a bad situation to be in for the elves. Giving me free power points basically, as well as losing money and losing his army. So, not ideal. But good pickup for me nonetheless. And he will have to go replenish his troops. He did manage to save 3 little guys. They're all from the same battalion, unfortunately for him. So 1 battalion will begin to regen at least. And he won't have to buy 1 battalion. But Isengard is pushing in a bit. Looks like he just stopped a building from being constructed. And now that builder will go down to a volley of crossbow bolts. Not the way you want to go. That's for sure. Mordor is pushing in on my base here. Looks like I am prepared though. I do have a pretty decent army here. Would I say it's better? Probably not. It's mainly just a bunch of goblin warriors. But I do have these spider hole expansions. If he does get too close, those will help immensely. And Evil Eye, as you see, does not kill a cave troll outright. So that's good to keep in mind, as they can live through that. Evil Eye in patch 1.00 is so much better than patch 1.06. In fact, I'd say it was overpowered in 1.00 because you could basically one-shot heroes with it, which is a little bit silly. I'm glad for the change, although when you play Mordor and you don't have that ability, after having that ability for so long, you're just like, oh, well, that's underwhelming. The Evil Eye is still alright for killing troops, though. If you fire it in the middle of a battalion, it'll generally kill most of it. So it's not too bad. And it does do some decent damage to heroes. So now I am pushing in on Mordor's base here. It's like the only place that things are happening. And I did summon Wildmen here, as well as give them more chant. You see with their scrubby, scrubby facial hair. They are definitely the dirty hillmen. And Wildmen with war chant are pretty effective, I feel. It's probably one of my favorite summons. Just being able to summon... I like the troop summons. I also like the summon Orcs of Gundabad or whatever from Rise of the Witch King. That's a fun spell to have too. It's basically the same thing. The Wildman's a little better though, I feel, because they give you resources per kill. Or even swing, I guess. Any damage. So that's always nice to have. And they do good damage. Looks like I'm rebuilding my army, as I did have to retreat. I didn't have enough troops to take them out. These things are very strong, these barricades. Mordor barricades are hard to take out if you don't have any siege weapons. They end up doing a lot of damage for what they are, which is just an archer tower. So they're usually a good buy from Mordor, I feel. Always a good power to have, in this patch at least. They're pretty strong. Looks like Tom Bombadil is chasing away the Uruk-hai army. They will have to retreat back to Isengard and try to outlast the time remaining on Tom Bombadil. Because you don't want your army getting sonic boomed by Tom Bombadil. Nobody wants that. And it looks like we are actually moving in on the Elves a little bit. I do have some trolls, some spider riders, and some goblin warriors here. If this troll manages to hit this guy, he will send him off his horse, and then that Nazgul will die. Ooh, that Nazgul will die anyway because he got hit with the triple strike, triple shot. And as you see, he got knocked off his horse regardless. And there's an extra 375 resources for me because I do have Scavenger. Let's take a look at the powers real quick. My partner has Industry and Creebane. I have Scavenger, Wildman, Cave Bats, and War Chant. So I'm doing pretty well on the PowerPoint front. And then the Elves have Farsight, Tom Bombadil, and Heal. And Mordor has Barricade and Evil Eye. Or the Eye of Sauron, the Evil Eye. Same thing, whatever. And it looks like the Elven base is going to be in a lot of trouble here now. Mordor is going to need to get over here pretty quick. We do have some ballistas here as well. Looks like he targeted the fortress with them, but since they're not able to get line of sight, they will have to go around. That is how siege weapons work in this game. They won't be able to fire over buildings. So if there's a fortress behind a wall, like just a thin wall right here, they won't be able to shoot over that wall. So that is good to know. And Zahia has been defeated. The Elves are dead now. So the fortress fell to the might of the Goblins and the Isengard armies here. And now it's just a matter of time, probably, I'd imagine, before we kill SHIN and his Mordor over here. I'm sure it won't be easy. Mordor is usually a defensible team, I feel. They have one of the most defensible fortresses in the game, if not the most defensible fortress in the game, if upgraded. Although we do have ballistas, so that will make things a bit easier on us, which is always good. And I do have the spam. Goblin spam isn't really going to help us get the fortress down, but still good nonetheless to have big armies of meat shields, which is basically what they are, and they do some damage, so they're not completely worthless. And we will begin moving in from the west here. Looks like the Mordor heroes are moving out to greet us, as we are attacking their slaughterhouses as well. So do have some spiderlings as well. I build spiderlings because they're just really fast, not because they're good. Spiderlings are great for countering cavalry, I believe. That is a good use for spiderlings. They are good against swordsmen, I guess, but I tend not to use them for that reason. Sounds like Smeagol went down. Yeah, the ring has been dropped. And it looks like Malthasarn and the Nazgul slaughtered there. By the might of the troll with the stick. And undoubtedly the troops behind him. So Mordor is in a lot of trouble here. And looks like he's probably given up already. Nope, not quite. He has summoned a worm. Worm is quite powerful. We're definitely going to want to get away from the worm. Instantly killing my gore kill, as the worm does a lot of damage. Worm actually trying to kill this ballista, but not managing to do it, which is interesting. Looks like he was saving up for a fell beast. Would have been a good call, if not for all this happening. Although I remember I was building Drogoth at this moment, and I was also spamming Goblin Archers, or began spamming Goblin Archers. So I would have been able to deal with that eventually, but at the current moment we would have had trouble dealing with a fell beast. But looks like we managed to take the game anyway, as it was 2-on-1, and it will happen eventually, unless you're a really, really good player. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That's one more replay down, so I can take that one off the list, and I will see you in the next replay for Battle for Middle-earth 2. Let's make English words, and I'll see you next time.